Welcome to OK Bitcoin 69. Consider to subscribe and let's dive into today Bitcoin news. It seems like you're deeply immersed in the cryptocurrency market and considering various factors that could affect Bitcoin's price, particularly the impact of the Gox Bitcoin Distribution.
Is bracing for the now defunct exchange Mt. Gox to start distributing as many as 950,000 Bitcoin to customers awaiting payouts from its bankruptcy process. Of course, that's good news for creditors and customers who have been waiting for those reimbursements for years, but it could have a negative effect on price in the short term. What do you think the impact of that Bitcoin distribution could be?
I think the distribution is going to be a little smaller than you indicated. I think it's going to be more in the line of around 140,000 Bitcoin, which is still over $9 billion worth of Bitcoin, so still very significant. But what's uncertain is exactly how much of that is going to be taken up, because there are a lot of people who may have forgotten that they had any Bitcoin on Mt. Gox because they had small balances. People could have passed away in the past 10 years and their estates are unaware of it. So it may be that it's only a percentage of that 140,000 Bitcoin that actually hits, is taken up in wallets. And then the next question is, how many of those people are going to see that as a windfall that they want to cash in on? A lot of these people who were buying Bitcoin back in 2010 to 2014 when Mt. Gox was operational, they were very early adopters, obviously, and Bitcoin enthusiasts. And many of those people will want to hold on to that Bitcoin because they still believe that there's a lot further to go. And then those that are in jurisdictions that have capital gains tax may see this as, they've got this huge windfall, but they don't want to give up, 25 to 50% of that in capital gains. And so therefore they'll hold on to that and maybe borrow against that to monetize the value of that Bitcoin. So my view is I don't think that we're going to see, 140,000 Bitcoin selling pressure into this marketplace. But even if we do, the one thing to think about, Talia, is that's $9 billion of Bitcoin in a market that trades $30 to $40 billion a day in Bitcoin. So it's a significant amount, but it's not going to all hit in one day, and it can be absorbed over time.
Probably suffering from the Mt. Gox, starting distributions in July. That was a huge overhang for many years. But if I was investing in crypto knowing that one of the biggest overhangs is going to disappear in July, I think it's a reason to actually expect a pretty sharp rebound in the second half. So I think 150 is still within.
It's already July 1st, so so you're not taking that off the table. That's still a possibility.
That's right.
This week, Fundstrat's Tom Lee said that while the Mt. Gox bankruptcy is hanging over the crypto market, he expects a sharp rebound for the cryptocurrency in the second half of this year. Do you agree with him at all? What's your outlook, and what's your timeline for Bitcoin to potentially hit those all-time highs we saw back in March once again? What would it take?
So I am looking for a similar bounce in the second half. I think the summer doldrums will continue until the fall, and then we see Bitcoin rally up to somewhere between $85,000 and $100,000 price point, whereas I know some others are looking for a lot higher than that. I just don't think that there's going to be enough impetus to make that through, and I don't think there's going to be enough traditional finance pressure to push that higher. So, my view is I would accumulate Bitcoin down in the 50 to 60,000 range, looking for 85 to 100,000 later in the ETH ETF approval from the SEC. If that happens, then that will raise up all crypto prices, just as the BTC ETF approval did. I think in general it's going to raise prices across the board. Obviously, ETH is going to be the main beneficiary of that, but I think that that's going to pull all the other kind of top cryptocurrencies. I wouldn't say meme coins are definitely going to benefit, but the top 5 altcoins will likely benefit as well, because speculation will be that they will be next in line for ETF approval. So I think it's going to benefit the entire ecosystem.
Do you think these products will prove to be as popular as spot Bitcoin ETFs?
I think they will. There's going to be an allocation that traditional investors and even investment advisors are going to be stating as a normal policy or a normal portfolio approach. So it could be that people are going to allocate 2 to 4% of their portfolio to crypto assets, and the best way to express that certainly in a tax efficient manner and a secure manner is through the ETFs. So I think that it's going to be proved to be a very popular asset class across the board in the US, as we've seen in other countries like Canada and Australia who have them today.
Here are a few key points and insights based on your discussion. Mt. Gox Bitcoin Distribution. There's anticipation about the potential release of 140,000 bitcoins from Mt. Gox, which could create selling pressure in the market. However, it's uncertain how much of this bitcoin will actually be claimed and sold immediately due to factors like forgotten accounts or estate issues. Market impact. Even if the full 140,000 bitcoins enter the market, it represents a significant amount, over $9 billion, but needs to be viewed in context. The daily trading volume of bitcoin is much higher, which suggests that this supply could be absorbed over time rather than causing an immediate crash. Price predictions. There's optimism for a rebound in Bitcoin's price in the second half of the year, with some predictions ranging from $85,000 to $100,000. This outlook is driven by factors such as the potential approval of an Ethereum ETF and general market sentiment once regulatory uncertainties clear. Altcoins and ETFs also touches on the potential impact of altcoin ETFs, particularly if they gain popularity similar to Bitcoin ETFs. This could further boost cryptocurrency prices across the board. Personal strategy. Your strategy involves waiting to buy Bitcoin around $51,000 to $52,000, while holding a long-term position based on expectations of higher prices later this year and beyond. In summary, while short-term volatility may be influenced by external factors like Mt. Gox distributions, the overall sentiment leans towards optimism and potential price appreciation in the cryptocurrency market, especially with upcoming regulatory decisions and broader adoption trends. It's essential to stay informed and adaptable given the dynamic nature of the crypto landscape.